All right, guys, how's it going? I've been to the cafe this morning and I have reviewed today's Spanish football dailies for you. And I can tell you right now, there's nothing in them with regards to Liverpool Football Club, any of our players or players we might be sniffing around, right? So there's nothing to do with Luis Diaz and Barcelona. There's nothing to do with Alexis McAllister and Real Madrid. Hey, I'm just a messenger, right? They've mentioned him a few times, right? But there's nothing. There's now today, nada, nothing, zilch. So we don't have to worry about that. After this video, I'll be updating Golazo España, right? That's my YouTube channel about Spanish football because I get a lot of information from these and like to tell people, if you want to watch it, the thing will flash up on the screen at the end of the video or check the video description. Also, my morning briefing will come up after this video. That goes on my personal channel, Duncan Oldham. Again, the link is in the video description or it'll pop up on the screen. One more thing, please calm down before you start caps locking me to death. I'll be hosting a live stream on here today at 1 o'clock UK time for an hour if you'd like to come along, right? So we'll be talking about Florian Wirtz and everything that's happened today after this video, right? So yeah, 1 o'clock on here, we'll have a little natter. So what we're going to do in this video is I'm going to explain to you why there are conflicting reports or why people are flapping a little bit about the status of Florian Wirtz to Liverpool, right? And this could be a long video. I'll try and keep it as short as I can. So, Fabrizio Romano comes out and says, exclusive, right? A deal in principle has been agreed now, right? That is all I need to hear because Fabrizio Romano will have got that from the agent. Now, you've got to remember how these journals and stuff, right? How their networks, how they operate. So, Romano operates independently, right? Whereas Joyce at the Times and Ornstein at The Athletic, they work, for example, with clubs, like with Liverpool Football Club, right? Especially Joyce, right? Because when Joyce writes something, I always think that's Michael Edwards talking to me, right? Of course, there's Richard Hughes in there as well. And you can usually tell from the wording, right? So the same with Ornstein, right? Let me explain if you don't know the difference between these two. So Joyce is more, he's closer to the people that run Liverpool Football Club on a day-to-day basis. Ornstein is more, he's closer to people like in FSG, the people, the big cheese, right? But from time to time, they cross over. You only need to listen to those two journalists, right? For regarding Liverpool Football Club. Ornstein does cover all sorts of things, but he's got a good a good line, if you like, to the big cheese surrounding Liverpool Football Club, associated Liverpool Football Club. But Joyce, in my opinion, is the main man. So I always say you only need to listen to them two journals, don't I? But I also then add, but you have to follow Romano, keep an eye on what he's saying. Right now, I monitor everything in real time when I spin around, when this is on the screen. Some of you will know that, you'll have seen the stuff that I use, right? And I monitor things in real time from all over the world, right? And sometimes I'll see something come out in Brazil or some faraway place, and Romano will follow up a few seconds later, right? So that's why some people call him a tap-in merchant. But when he speaks specifically about certain Liverpool players, for example, last time he was really on the ball was Federico Chiesa, right? That's because he's close to the agent. This time, he's making claims around Florian Wirtz, which, in my opinion, have come from the agent, right? So, Romano is not answerable to anybody, right? The other two are, right? So, Joyce will know, in my opinion, and I'm sure Ornstein probably does as well, but Joyce will know, in my opinion, that what Romano has said last night, but he can't come out and do it. He can't come out and say it. Journals don't just tell you everything they know, especially if they've got a good working relationship, right? Now think about it. The low-key journalists, the ones below Ornstein and Joyce, they have their access to Anfield. They go to the pre-match press conferences. That is a working arrangement, right? That's working conditions. They've got to do that. The club throws something every now and then when they want to amplify a message. But the people like Paul Joyce, right? That's more than just going to a press conference. That's like, do you want to go for a bite to eat at weekend? Like, do you know what I mean, right? So they're friends as well. And that's where it gets a little bit more like respectful because a low-key journalist can pass their opinions and that. But if you've got the luxury of the friendship as well as the working arrangement, you're cracking. So I guarantee you, right, Joyce will know everything that's going on, right? He'll know everything that's going on, but he won't say boo until Liverpool, Edwards or Hughes says, yeah, well, you can go with that, right? But they're not going to go with like little bits, like they're not there to provide running commentary to us. It's just that we live in a society, a world now, we want that information now, right? So people are saying things like, well, Ornstein, like, he's behind, he doesn't know, right? No, Ornstein, he'll know what's going on. But he's actually saying to you something factual. So they're both right. People are saying they're contradicting each other. It's conflicting report. It's not. Fabrizio Romano said a deal agreed in principle, which means that deal can still fall through. The grown-ups, we know this. So if it falls through, you can't attack him and say, you told us it was done, because he didn't say it was done, did he? He said in principle, and we've seen before with people like Nabil Fekir, right? Make sure you spell it right when you Google it, Nabil Fekir, Liverpool, this close to join Liverpool, but falls through. The deal was agreed in principle. The deal was agreed, right? So Fabrizio Romano is telling you the truth, right? But he's not saying it's done. There's just a bit, that, in my opinion, the agent's gone, right, we've got it all sorted. We've just got to get through the documentation. That's what I think, right? Now, Ornstein, he comes out after that and says, no, the deal's not done, all right? And everyone's then like, oh, my God, he's saying something different. He's not. They're both saying the same thing, if you think about it. Romano's saying the deal's not done, but it's agreed in principle. So both of them are spot on, right? There is no conflicting fucking shit. I've seen one of these numpties on here today, on the interwebs, well-known Liverpool fucking Twitter account, websites, conflicting reports. That's to suck you in. I might have to use that in the fucking title of my video because I'm trying to explain why it's not conflicting. Do you know what I mean? So my peoples know around here, I don't clickbait anyway. So let me think about this. What else can I tell you about it? Well, I would just say, though, it's chill, it's tranquilo, all's good, todo bien, it's perfect, everything's fine. But you have to understand that in principle isn't done. Done to me means irreversible, signed, sealed, legally binding, done, right? Now, Joyce and Ornstein, they're not going to come out and just give you running commentary. Oh, yeah, they've agreed those terms now, but they're working on the structures now. Unless the club wants them to. All right. So what you have to understand is that it's just two different things. Romano, he don't give a fuck what Liverpool think about him. Right. He'll say what he wants for his empire. Yeah. The other two, they will not speculate. They will not do things like that. They will not run with things that they shouldn't run until they get the nod. So in effect, it's kind of like they're like unofficial official or official unofficial. If that makes sense. How can I word it? Everything's unofficial unless it's from the club. But when Joyce puts something out, I'm like, well, that's the club, so it's sort of officially official. Does that make sense? No? Listen, at the end of the day, don't worry. I think it's all sorted, right? But there's nothing... you just got to understand that they operate in different environments. I don't know if I mentioned this in this video, because I tried to do a video before and I scrapped it. But... Romano has angered Liverpool Football Club before. He's also angered Liverpool players. Thiago, just search Thiago Romano, whatever. So Romano operates his network really primarily is agents, right? Some football clubs as well, depending on relationships, right? So, and the reason that is, allegedly, is if you read what the mainstream media have previously reported about him, if you Google Fabrizio Romano scandal or whatever, that's their opinions, not mine, right? But they said it's been out there in the mainstream media before that Romano allegedly charges up to €1,000 to mention your client. Think of it like that, your client. You're an agent, yeah, I'll give him a little, yeah, gives a grand, I'll sort it out. A video up to 5,000. Those are claims in the media, right? So therefore, and why does he do that? Because he's got a massive audience. And if you're an agent, Romano can help you secure a better deal, whether it's a transfer or better personal terms on a renewal or moving, right? So all the agents work with him. That's how he has that's where the majority of his stuff comes from. That's why he knows so much, right? So it's in their interest to work with Romano and just have that working relationship, right? So he don't give a fuck whether he's gone too soon. Because someone said in the comments on my video, but he's not really helping Liverpool, is he? He don't give a fuck about Liverpool. Do you know, he's got no loyalty to Liverpool at all. He's an empire, right? But the others work differently, right? They work different. They cannot anger Liverpool Football Club. That's why last year, when the Zubimendi stuff came out, and I can't remember which one of them went with it first, and someone went, oh, they're going to get in trouble. They shouldn't have gone with that. Yeah, bollocks. They're only doing that because the club want it out there. Even if it comes out later, Liverpool are angry about it being leaked. Nah, bollocks, man. Trust me, DKB don't knows best, right? I want to just point something out to you, right? In all my videos where I talk about journalists, right, I always say you only need to listen to Ornstein and Joyce. And I think I've explained why, yeah? And then, but I always said Romano as well, for the entertainment. And yeah, he's a bit like reposting every fucking thing every fucking 2 hours. That's because every time he reposts it, it makes a shitload of money. Would you do it if that was your job? Do you know what I mean? Right? So I listen to them free. Do you know what I mean? But I know that if Romano is going all in, as he did, that's come from the agent. That's come from the agent. It's not come from Liverpool. Liverpool will be on the blower to Joyce, you know, saying this is where we are, like, we can't stay out yet. Come on, guys. Don't let these fucking idiots stress you out on social media and tell you there's conflicting reports, contradictions. This is going to happen, right? Although, in principle, is not done. Yeah? So chill. There you go. I hope I explained it well. This is probably the third attempt at recording this video, to be honest with you. But I wanted to get it right. That's it. Always remember in your mind, please, always remember in your mind, right? Romano, not answerable to anyone, right? His kind of information is coming from agents. The majority of the time, so he can say what the fuck he wants, right? Oi, get the fuck down. Sorry, my missus is just making me talk. No, it's Remy, my dog, my rescue dog. He's just jumped up on the side over there. Anyway, where was I? Just remember it's coming from agents, right? So he can't, he can say what the fuck he wants, yes. The other two, nah, that's the club, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, use your noddle. I know my peoples from round here, they know all this anyway without me even having to tell them. But you might be new to my channel, you know what I'm saying? Cool. All right, we work together and we help each other out. There you go. Do I need to add anything else? You can turn off at this point, because I'll only waffle on for another 10 minutes. Oh, yeah, that's what I wanted to say, actually. This is fucking massive, right? This is massive. This is a boy that had, aspirations, a German boy, to play for Bayern Munich. And he's let that go to join Liverpool, right? Didn't push for Bayern Munich. You can say, oh, they didn't want to sell to Bayern. If a player wants to get what he'll fucking get what he wants. Trust me, right? The players control everything, right? He chose Liverpool, right? This development, this whole situation, right? And I started off very cautious with it, all right? Because everybody in the football industry thought he was going to Bayern. Everybody there's no point going for him, he's not to Bayern. And Liverpool went in there, amplified the message through the people I've told you, Ornstein and Joyce, get in there, amplify the fuck out of it, right? Because normally you wouldn't put it out there if you're interested in a play, because you don't want. But if you don't think you got a chance of getting that, get it out there and tell them, right? It's like that bird you fancy, she's with Dave, you got no chance. Yeah, well, I still want her to fucking know I like her, give her a right good fucking seat. Do you know what I mean? She's got to filter back. You got to get out there, you got to amplify the message, get everyone talking about it. Do you know what I mean? Make Dave shit himself. You know what I'm saying, right? And at the end, if you're a more attractive option, you know what I'm saying, right? So, whether you think this or not, right, this player, right, a German boy turning down Bayern Munich to go to Liverpool, he's fucking massive in my opinion. I ain't seen out like that Liverpool for fucking years, right? Not only that, them Spanish friends of ours at Real Madrid, right? Alonso, I want him. Madrid, Perez, well, we'll try and get him for you, but we need to sell first. We didn't have to sell first. We are going to sell, obviously, but that wasn't the message. Yeah, and we know over the years we've often had, well, can't do it until we move out this player and that player. Liverpool showing real intent this year, but, and this is where you need to calm the fuck down with the FSG have changed everything, right? Let's see who the sold by the end of the window. Now, I'm not suggesting for 1 minute there's going to be any shocks or surprises, all right? But if you start thinking about Diaz going and Nunes going, which is what I've said for months, that's what I always thought would happen. I thought that was going to fund like a big deal. And you know what I'm saying, right? So there's going to be outgoings. And on top of that, there's going to be the other outgoings. People like Harvey Elliott, for example, maybe Kwanzaa. We've already seen Kelleher, right? So the money's coming in. So I don't think Liverpool can go batshit crazy or anything. You know what I mean? But at the same time, we haven't gone out and said, well, we'll have to sell them two first. And that's what Klopp had to put up with a lot, right? So they've gone in, fuck off, I hate flies. They've gone in and showing serious biz. My peoples know what serious biz means on here. Do you know what I'm saying? Serious biz. And they've shown some real fucking clout, right? And there's even people saying, oh, I think we've paid too much. It's not your fucking money. Don't worry about it. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, if the fucker plays well, right? If he comes in, adapt, why shouldn't he, right? Then you should, in theory, or hopefully, be winning more and doing more and more, generating more revenue, right? So it's obvious the butthurt fans are going to come out, I can't believe you've paid that when they got shirky. Fuck that, right? We set out to get this player and we've got him. That's it, right? And remember, Romano is just saying in principle, he'll follow up at some point. The others, they're not contradicting him. They're actually telling you the same fucking thing if you think about it. Right, I'm off. Live on here today at 1 o'clock UK time this afternoon, all right? Let me know your comments in the thing. I'm going to do my morning briefing on my other channel in a minute. Come over there, Duncan Oldham. So I've got some things to say to you. I've seen some comments and I want to go over them with you. You like comments from here, but I keep it a bit separate. You only get 3 notifications on here in a 24-hour period. So if I put the morning briefing out on here, which I used to do, I'll lose 1 notification to you guys straight away. So I'll put that on my other channel, Duncan Oldham. It's going to pop up in a minute, right? So what you need to do is, if you only get 3 notifications on here during the day, you have to check my channel manually, because trust me, I fucking put all sorts of stuff out all day long, you know what I mean? You need to get in the habit of coming to the channel. Right, I'm off. All right then, if you found this video interesting at all right, please thumbs up the video. I'm sorry if I come across as patronising, but you got to understand that some people don't know who these fucking journalists are. Do you know what I mean? And I've been here 27 years just saying. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that. So if you appreciate the video, please thumbs up the video. If you don't, thumbs it down. But trust me, I'm not going to be crying into my swimming pool out there. All right. Drop me a comment. Your comments are really important. Right? Your comments are really important. Guys, this is massive, man. It really is. Whether you think it's worth the money or not, it's fucking massive. Fuck. Nah, see you later, Bayern Munich. Real Madrid, get to fuck. I'm off to Anfield. Fucking get in. Do you know what I'm saying? Right? This is big. This is showing where we are as a club now. I'm telling you. And the problem with FSG before in the past is they've kind of got to that bit before being successful and then fucking done nothing. All right? But you can't now just forget, you know, you can't now just forget and go, oh, they're the best owners ever. There's nothing wrong with these owners. I'm not going down that route. But what I'm saying to you is, like, let's just see at the end of the window, because some people think they're going to spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions. We're doing really well. That's all that matters, right? We shouldn't be looking for any negatives. We shouldn't be looking for anything to fucking whinge about. You know what I mean? Yeah? So, chill. Thumbs up, comment. If you want to get me a coffee, you can do so by hitting the love heart under the video. God loves a grifter. It's my fucking job, this. All right? Or a beer. But I'm not having a beer till Saturday. I'm going to cricket on Saturday. Who goes to fucking cricket? Yeah, but the way I see it today, I won't lash. I mean, in fairness, I went to football in Barcelona on Saturday. 7-hour bus, didn't even go to a fucking game. I'll find a pub, don't you worry. Right, that's it. Yeah, that's it. All right. 1 o'clock on here. See you then. All right.